Hello there, this is RomWills coming back at you with yet another video. Men and women simply perceive looks differently. Men and women simply perceive looks differently. Now, this is very important because there were a couple of things that happened. One, there was a guy trying to say, oh, your walk ain't sexy. And I'm like, well, first of all, it's women who like my walk. Women. Because a man can't look at another man and see what a woman sees. That was one thing, but then there was another guy, I wish I could send you pictures to check me out. I was like, you better find some women whose word you trust. Because that's very important. Because I've said several times, a man cannot look at another man and see what a woman see. Because when a woman is looking at a man, she ain't just looking at him with her eyes. She's looking at her with her vagina. It's partly sexual. And they seeing some stuff that, as a man, you can't see. I wouldn't even wasting time. I've seen guys who, in my eyes, in a man's eyes, look regular. But then the women are like, he's gorgeous. And that's happened several times. That has happened several times. Like, oh, he's great. He's this, he's that. That's because they're different. Men and women simply perceive looks differently. Because a woman, she's looking at a man differently. She's looking at different things. For example, a woman might look at a big guy a man might look at a big guy and say, oh, nah, he ain't lean, he ain't this or that. But a woman's looking at that guy thinking, oh, well, yeah, he could be a good father. He could be whatever. It depends on what that woman's looking at him for. Because it's different. It goes beyond just the sexual thing. Goes beyond what her vajayjay is saying, which is very important, but also the practicality. What's she looking at him for? She might be looking at him for somebody who could be a good father. She might look at him for somebody who might be on that hustle thing. She's definitely looking at him for somebody who could be good in bed. She might be looking for somebody who's more intellectual. See, women, they looking at bodies. When a woman looking at a body, she's looking at what can be done for, what she can click with, what she like. Whereas a man, well, let's just be real. When we looking at a woman, because we perceive looks differently. How often have anybody been around a woman and they'll talk about another woman and say, oh, she's great, or they'll say, oh, she's beautiful, and the men are like, huh? We're looking at them differently. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. It's something to be accepted. For example, that whole thing of men asking another man, like I said, if I ever did something like that, I would have a panel of women. Because even then, different women going to look at different guys differently. If you get a guy, you put him in front of 100 women, you're going to have 100 different opinions. Now, you might have a group of them say, oh yeah, he's handsome, but then they're going to be looking at different types of handsome. Like, you might have some who might say, oh, he's drop dead handsome. He's like, well, he handsome. Yeah, all right. Then some other ones going to be like, well, he ugly. So even then, it depends on which women. It's just like women will like different body types. Like I said, all women don't like a lean body. Like I said, they don't like a big lean body. They like some weight on a guy. You got some women like weight on a guy, some women who like lean, some women who like ultra slim, some women who like muscular, some women who don't. It depends on the woman. But they still, if you compare them to another man, if you compare that woman to a man, they're going to look at somebody differently. They're going to look at somebody differently. A man can't do that. You know, I remember when I was younger, This dude was telling me, a friend of mine was telling me, it's like he can't understand why all these women thought I was attractive. I was like, well, they're women. They're women. You and a couple other guys, y'all men. Because even a gay man can't look at another man the same way a woman's going to. And see, that's very important. That's very important. That's why I even said, I remember early on, when I first got started, I had maybe about 250 subs. And there was somebody who knew of me from before I even got on YouTube. And he was coming hard. And he said something about me, and I never forget what I said to him. I said to him, I said, why don't you find some women, you ask them how I look. And they didn't have a problem. They actually said, oh yeah, he's dateable. Now they didn't think I had money. I was like, okay, that's fair. But they didn't have a problem with how I look. All of them said, yo, yeah, we could date him. So it's like, a man can't look at another man like that. It's a waste of time, waste of energy. Indeed, and I've had a couple guys ask me, and I told them, I said, look, find some woman whose word you trust. And like I said, if I was ever going to do something like that for pay, I would say, okay, I got a panel of women to check you out. I would have a panel of at least 3 women, because they're going to look at it. Like, you got some guys looking at some content creators trying to say this. I remember there was a guy trying to say, well, this was stupid. This was stupid on his part. And I had mentioned this before. He was trying to compare me to another content creator. I was like, you a man. And plus, me and that content creator, shoot, we're not even the same age. We're 30 years apart. But you got to still, you're a man. You can't compare. Ask a woman. Ask a woman. Like, if any of y'all have any questions about how I look, ask a woman. Don't be thinking yourself unless you, let's just say you like men. And even then, you can't determine what a woman sees. And I want y'all to remember that. I want y'all to think about that. I mean, we just are. Or if a woman try to say, oh, this woman looks real cute. Like, no. Because just like you can't tell what a woman like, a woman can't tell what a man like. We just gonna perceive it differently. We just looking at it differently. There's nothing wrong with that. Men and women are different, have different eyes, got different tastes. That's a very important thing to know. Seriously, you can't get past that. And just perceive it, okay? And just accept that. Just accept that. Because I had to say that. Because like I said, don't be hitting me up saying, well, how do I look? Because I've even had some guys hit me up privately, show me some pictures. I'm like, I don't know. Find somebody, and I've told them the same thing. I say, find some woman whose word you trust. That's the only way you're going to know for sure. I can't look at you. Because like I said, when a woman looking at a man, it depends on what she want to do with him. They might skip over like that perfectly muscular, handsome, model-looking dude and just get that dude who, because they have abandonment issues, look like he won't abandon them. It depends on the situation. It depends on what their particular needs are. In fact, I said that in my book, Nice Guys and Players. I said women choose a man according to their needs. See, men, well, we just looking at a woman for sex. Let's just be real. We don't be thinking all of that. And even then, it's different in different countries. Like, you got some countries in Africa where a woman need to have some weight on her. Meanwhile, you get some other countries, or maybe some more Western countries, she need to be more lean. She need to be slimmer. So it depends. So many factors go in there why any particular person finds someone attractive or not attractive. All right. So anyway, that's all I have for right now. I want y'all to really think about this, okay? Think about this. Think on this. All right? And don't hit me up saying, oh, how I look. No, don't do it. Or don't ask another man. If you're a man, you want to know how you perceive, go find some women whose word you trust, who going to be honest with you. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.